from Imagine Your Goddess, here with another one of the Force of Will deck profiles. Here is another fun, casual deck. This is Wizard of Oz, Crimson Girl in the Sky. So Crimson Girl in the Sky costs 3 to flip, unless you play a Refarth Castle during the turn, in which case she costs 0 to flip. We'll talk about the reason that's important later. But flipping into her other side, Little Red, the True Fairy Tale, she has a few effects. One of them is continuous. She can't be targeted by red spells, red abilities, black spells, or black abilities. So she can't be burned out, which is really nice. She also has a continuous effect that whenever your opponent's stuff would try to lower, whenever someone would try to lower your Resonator's attack or defense, it doesn't. It does 0 instead. And anything that would try to gain your Resonator's attack and defense is doubled instead. So this is a really good pump deck, a Voltron build, if you will. This build is a little bigger than most of my builds, so when you count and see that it's more than 40 cards, now you know. So, deck plays 2 copies of Rock. Rock is a 3/3 flyer for 1. Then it runs 4 Heartless Tin Men. Heartless Tin Men get achievement counters, and achievement counters on Heartless Tin Men give him +3/+3 for each one. He also, the effect is whenever an addition would it come under your control, or an addition gets attached to a Resonator you control, he gets an achievement counter. So whenever you play a Windagger out, he gets a 3/3 counter. Whenever you play a Flying Carpet, he gets 3/3 counter. Whenever your opponent tries to put Cinderella Slippers on him, he gets a 3/3 counter. Whenever your opponent tries to put Red Iron Shoes on him, he gets a 3/3 counter. So he can get pretty big pretty fast. Then I run 3 Cowardly Lion. Cowardly Lion is a 2/2 for 1 mana. His ability is he gets an achievement counter whenever he deals damage to a player. So whenever you attack, he's not blocked, you're going to get a bonus. So it's pretty decent. Also, +3/+3 for each achievement counter. Brainless Scarecrow, 3 of 1 green, 2/2, and he gets an achievement counter if you control a Cowardly Lion or a Heartless Tin Man when you play him, when he enters the battlefield. Again, for each achievement counter, +3/+3. So he's not bad. 3 copies of Wizard of Oz, 2 and a green, 6/6. And his enter ability is you get to search your deck for a 1-cost spell and put it in your hand. Now, a spell is only a card that says spell on it. So, Oz's Magic, Evolution of Limits, those kind of things are spells in this guy's format because it says a spell card. That's what makes it important. So he's really good at getting some pumps for you, and he's good when Oz's Magic hits the board, as I'll explain later. Also, I run 2 copies of Feast Sing. Feast Sing is the best green card there is. She has Quick Cast, she costs 3. When she enters the battlefield, your opponent, you choose a Resonator, and that Resonator cannot do damage until end of turn. And she can tap herself for 1 mana, 1 will of any color. So you run her to negate your opponent's biggest attack, and then also block with her that turn against something else. So it's pluses all around. I run 4 copies of Oz's Magic. Oz's Magic puts an achievement counter on up to 2 different Resonators. Achievement counters only get +3/+3 though when the creature says they get +3/+3 for them. So you can't put them on Oz the Great Wizard and expect to get +3/+3. It doesn't work that way. But you can put them on any of your Scarecrows, any of your Lions, any of your Tin Men. Also, if you have Oz the Great Wizard on the board when you play that, you get to draw a card. And if you get Oz's Magic with Oz the Great's ability, you can cast it for free. That's part of Oz's ability, so it's pretty nice. I run 4 copies of Evolution Limits. It gives +6/+6 till end of turn for 1 green. Instant speed. I run 2 copies of Silver Shoes. It's a 1-cost edition that gives +3/+3 to something. I play 3 copies of Wind Dagger. Wind Dagger's ability, it's 1 green, it's an addition, so you attach it to something. When it enters, you draw a card, and you can pay green and banish it to do 300 to target Resonator. This is one of those cheap additions that you throw out when you have a 10-man out to boost up his abilities. Flying Carpet is a 1-cost green addition. When it enters, you get to draw a card, and it gives the added Resonator flying. So this is a good card to attach to that 10-man in order to not only pump him up, but give him flying and get over everybody. I run 3 copies of Refarth. It's an addition field, so when you play it and 10-man's out, he gets an achievement counter. It gives all Resonators you control +1/+1, and you can banish it to give target Resonator you control +4/+4 until end of turn. This is the card that lets you flip Little Red for free. So you can play it on turn 2 and flip her for no cost, or you can play it whenever you get a hold of it and flip her for no cost, and suddenly the boosts are huge. I also run 4 copies of Zeke's. Zeke's is a really good card as long as you control Little Red or Crimson Girl in the Sky. It's a good card regardless. It tends to be in every green deck, but what it is 2 green, and you get to choose one of these abilities. Cancel target summon spell. Resonators you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. Target Resonator cannot be targeted by spells or abilities. And target player shuffles their graveyard into their deck. But if you control Little Red or her other side, you get to cast up to all 4 of them. So that gives you a chance to just cancel a summon and beef everything up and give something Shroud and get all your cards back into your deck. That card is just stupid good in a Little Red deck. So I run 4. Finally, I run 1 copy of Portal of Truth. Portal of Truth kills a Resonator. It's a standby, and it kills a Resonator whose attack or defense is different from its printed attack or defense. So that's how you get rid of some creatures that you don't like on the board. You throw it down, your opponent plays out a Blazer or something big. You pump it intentionally and then use Portal of Truth and beat it. So this deck obviously runs on pump spells. There's very few creatures in the deck, and that can be a real hindrance at times. But basically the idea is get out this Heartless Tin Man, pump them up with 4 or 5 counters, save 5, because you're really lucky and you get a bunch of additions out. He has flying because he's got a flying carpet on him. You have her flipped. Suddenly his 15/15 is 3,000. He swings for 32 in the air. Your opponent can't deal with him. Or more than likely, you get him up to maybe 24, and then you play one of those and give him +12/+12 until end of turn, finishing your opponent off in one swing. This deck has a lot of problems getting around the higher meta competitive decks. But when you're talking about playing in a casual format where people are playing for fun, it is really, really fun to beef up one creature and finish everything off in one turn. As far as stones go, it runs 10 regular wind stones. A lot of people ask me why I don't play Gretel. I don't answer them, but I'll answer you. The reason why the deck isn't playing Gretel is because it slows down what I'm trying to do. Yes, Gretel is good for ramp, and she does make things happen a little more succinctly when you need a lot of mana to play. But I'm not trying to play a lot of mana. I'm trying to beef up something and kill you before you have a chance to do anything about it. So she'll do that in record time if you give her a chance. So I encourage you guys to give this deck a shot or something like it. I know that a lot of people won't like the 43 cards or whatever it is in the deck. If you have a way of shortening the number down, let me know. Talk in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more Force of Will content, and I will talk to you soon. Diesel out.